You know that feeling, right? When you have to give a presentation and your palms start to sweat and your heart starts racing? Well, you are definitely not alone. But what if you could flip that script and turn that fear into total confidence? In this explainer, we're going to break down an amazing guide from Professor Prakhar Gupta that shows you exactly how to do that. Let's jump in. Have you ever been in that spot where your brain is just buzzing with brilliant ideas, but for some reason your mouth just can't seem to keep up? It's this super frustrating disconnect that I think we've all felt. But the good news is there is absolutely a way to bridge that gap for good. So why does this even matter? Why is this skill so important? Well, because a presentation is never just about the facts and figures. When you really get down to it, it's all about marketing. You're marketing yourself, your work, and the value you're bringing to the room. All right, so where do we even start? Hint, it's not by opening up PowerPoint or Keynote. Nope, it all begins with your core message. Let's dig into how to build that solid, unshakable foundation. The very first tool you need to know is the C2 formula. It stands for clear and concise. Now, it sounds simple enough, right? But this is all about being absolutely ruthless and cutting out the fluff. So instead of saying something wordy like, due to the fact that, you just say, because. It lets your main idea shine without any distractions. And right alongside that, we have the Q2 formula, question and quality. This one is a real game changer because it forces you to get out of your own head and step into your audience's shoes. You start thinking about the questions they might have, and you build your presentation to show them, right from the start, the quality and the real value of what you're sharing. Okay, so your core message is locked in. Now it's time to build the structure. And I want you to stop thinking of your presentation as just a list of facts. Instead, think of it as a really compelling 4X story that's going to take your audience on a journey from start to finish. And that story follows this classic 4-act blueprint. You start with the motivation, then you move to the methodology, then the results, and you wrap it all up with the conclusion. See how each step just logically builds on the one before it? It creates a narrative that's super easy to follow and honestly pretty hard to forget. Let's break down each of these acts. So, Act 1, motivation. This is your hook. This is the why should I care moment for your audience. You want to start with the big picture to give everyone some context, then you zoom in on the specific problem or gap that your research is tackling. And finally, you clearly state what you plan to do. Oh, and see that tip about 1 minute per slide? That's a great rule of thumb to keep things moving. Now, when we get into the nitty-gritty, the technical heart of your presentation, this advice is crucial. For your methodology, don't just throw up a bunch of complex equations. Focus on the why behind the math. And for your results, this is the main event. Let your visuals be the hero. A clear graph is way more powerful than a block of text. But you gotta make sure you walk people through it. Explain what those trends actually mean. So you've got this perfectly crafted message, the structure is solid, but you're only halfway there. Because how you actually deliver that message can literally make or break the whole thing. So let's talk about mastering your delivery. Pacing is everything, isn't it? It's like a real Goldilocks situation. If you go too slow, you're going to have people nodding off. But if you go way too fast, your brilliant ideas are just going to fly right over their heads. You're aiming for that sweet spot in the middle, a nice conversational pace where you can slow down and emphasize the really important stuff without feeling rushed. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, nerves. Look, they're going to happen. The secret isn't to get rid of them, it's to manage them. A strategic pause in your talk isn't a mistake. It's a powerful tool to gather your thoughts. And that old advice to take a deep breath, it sounds like a cliche, but it genuinely works. Your goal isn't to be a robot. It's just to be calm and composed. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make. They treat their slides like a script. But your slides are your backup dancers, not the lead singer. The difference is huge, right? On one side, you have clear, minimal text that just supports what you're saying. On the other, you have a wall of text that nobody can read. Always remember, you are the presentation, not your slides. Okay, you did it. You got through the main presentation, you see that thank you slide, and you breathe a huge sigh of relief. But hold on, it's not quite over yet. For a lot of people, the most intimidating part is still to come, the Q&A. Oh yeah, does this look familiar? That feeling when they open the floor for questions and you just feel like a target? This comic just captures that dread perfectly. But we need to reframe this. The Q&A is an interrogation. It's an opportunity. It's a conversation. It's your chance to really connect and drive your points home. So how do you handle it? Here's your playbook.
First, just listen. Really listen to the question. And don't ever be afraid to ask someone to repeat it. Here's a great little trick. Repeat the question back to them. It does two things. It confirms you understood, and it gives your brain a few extra seconds to come up with a great answer. And hey, what if you just don't know the answer? It's totally fine. Just politely say so. Being honest is always better than trying to bluff your way through it.
So, what's the big takeaway here? After all of this, it really boils down to one simple truth. We know from that Q2 formula that your ideas have value. They are worthy. The real question, the one you have to answer now, is how are you going to build the message, the story, and the confidence to tell their story the way it deserves to be told?